What's up, Internet? Current 1776 here with another Battlbox video for you. I got mission 114 right here. This is for the August box right here, which also means you may or may not have a golden ticket in here for battle games competition. Just saying, look in your box and be sure you do or you do not have a golden ticket. If you do have a golden ticket, please follow the directions on the ticket because you could be eligible to be one of the 10 contestants. Almost said 5, but it's 10. One of the 10 contestants in battle games in September this year. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking awesome. Let's get on with the awesome box, and then we'll talk about the golden ticket a little bit later. How about that? Let me get this thing open right here for you. Let's take a look at what's inside. Yeehaw. Okay, dokie. This right here. Mission brief. Check out your mission brief right there. Get the glare off of it. So the mission brief has each level of Battlbox, the basic, advanced, pro, and pro plus level. So no matter what level you're in, be it the top tier or the bottom tier, you know what went in all of them. So you don't have that FOMO or whatever the kids say these days. Was that fear of missing out? Had to look that up. A little write up from yours truly right here, and we're going to jump in to the basic box. First of which is an awful lot of fun. If you like to, do some marksmanship, some target practice, things like that. Shooting a regular old piece of paper, something like that. It's one thing when you're testing for groups. It's also fun to have kind of a reactive type target, right? Even if you're shooting a pellet rifle. We got these guys right here. These things are freaking fun, and one of those like, why didn't I think about that kind of products when I first saw these a while back? So what we've got here is the Triumph bottle blaster target caps. You got all these bottles laying around from your kids drinking their Mountain Dews or whatever, their water bottles and stuff like that. This is a cap that goes on the water bottle that has a membrane in it where you can pump up or you can pressurize the bottles. And then when you shoot the rascals and it punctures it, you get a nice reactive. The only thing I can describe it to is like tannerite, if you ever shot tannerite, but a very, 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 very minute percentage of what a tannerite target would actually do. But creates a loud pop explosion, if you will, when the ammo pierces the pressurized bottle. All right, so what we got here is we got ourselves a mesh bag. You're probably wondering what the mesh bag's for. I'll tell you here in a minute. And then you've got 5 of these bottle caps here. And an inflation needle, like for basketball, like a basketball pump. You take the bottle, right, the empty bottle, you replace the cap with this, and it works with most popular water bottles and stuff like that. I have found like the cheaper ones, like the like Walmart brand package of water bottles. The cap doesn't work great on those because the thread pitch is a little bit weird on those. But like your nicer water bottles, like your higher brand water bottles, these work great on. You take your empty water bottle, replace the cap on it with this cap. And the idea with the mesh bag is for safety purposes or whatever. You put the bottle in there with the cap on it, and you inflate it while it's in here, just in case something were to pop loose or whatever, or the bottle were to rupture or whatever. It does it inside this bag, not on you or whatever. Inflate it to about 60 psi. Go out, set your target out wherever you want to, your bottle out wherever you want to shoot it. You want to be at least 20 feet away when you shoot these things, and it goes boom when you shoot it. Eyelet here is so that you can tie the cap to the log or to a tree or to a branch or something like that. So when this thing pops, you don't lose your cap, because so long as you can keep up with your cap and your cap doesn't get damaged, you can reuse the caps. It's not necessarily a one and done thing. If this thing flies off somewhere and you can't find it, well, then it's a one and done thing, right? But be sure that you moisten the needle. Lubrication, okay? Really fun thing here from Triumph. They make a lot of really cool firearm related, target related, yada yada type items. Really cool thing, great for the kids. Shooting pellet rifles and stuff like that, or small 22 rifles, to have a reactive type target that kind of gives you a little bit of a report when you shoot it, and signifies that you have hit your target versus shooting paper and having to walk down there and look at it or whatever. I have not tried shooting these with my slingshot yet, but I'm going to try it and see. Problem is I think it's going to ricochet. I think just the tightness of the bottle when it's under pressure, it may not work that great. However, we got something else to go with it. The stick and shoot targets, also from Triumph. So these will work great with slingshots if you obviously got your slingshot from last month. So these right here are like a bleeder type target, right? So you can take your boring paper targets and add a little pizzazz to them. A bunch of these little peel and stick targets. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Got that high quality 3M tape on the back. So you peel the tape off, you stick this to your target. You stick it to paper targets, cardboard targets, heck, set them on the ground, stick them to whatever they'll stick to, and you can shoot at them. And they bleed. It's like got a colored gel type stuff in there. And there's several different colors that these can come in. You got blues and reds and stuff like that, but a very good visual way of seeing if you're hitting your target or not. These are fun with the slingshot for sure. So you've got the bottle blasters, and then you got these reactive stick bleed targets right here from Triumph. Some people call those splatter targets. I call them bleed targets because bleed sounds more fun. The third item in the basic box is from Griffin Pocket Tool. It's the stainless steel mini. This thing right here has saved my butt numerous times over the years. I'm pretty good friends with the owner of Griffin Pocket Tool. He's Casey. He also runs Georgia Bushcraft. I'm sure you've heard me talk about that, and a lot of my friends and other people on the internet that do bushcraft stuff have talked about Georgia Bushcraft. So same guy right here, family-owned company, small business. They actually posted a pretty cool video on Instagram that kind of made me feel good that basically he had himself and some of his friends and his entire family in their little shop there in Oconee, putting these in the packages by hand, sorting them and mailing them out, or he actually hand delivered these to our warehouse. That's what we're all about. A lot of the companies we work with are small businesses. They don't have mass production. They don't have computers, and they don't have tons of employees putting together this package right here. Like, he literally had his family, kids, parents, in-laws, cousins, all piled up into a room, packaging all these and putting them in boxes to send to you guys. So I thought that was pretty cool. Check them out on Instagram. I dig that, man. It's freaking awesome. So back to the product, and less about the old sap story about how that kind of tugged at my heartstrings that we're helping small businesses out and all that stuff. Let's look at the Griffin Pocket Tool Mini. So this little dude right here is pretty cool. It has on the back here, it says, "Think outside the toolbox." And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of these like EDC multi-tool type little things that I just don't use. I just don't get it sometimes. I just soon use the actual tool. But this guy right here is small enough that it's not in the way when you aren't using it. You almost completely forget that you have it. A lot of people put these on their keychains, and it freaking works for all sorts of things. And I've used it for, if I'm working on one of my kids' vehicles or my vehicle and I need to get those like pesky dash pins out, those plastic dash pins that hold your trim pieces in your dashboard together, or things like that. The pry bar of this has worked great for doing that, prying open stuff like that without marring the dash trim. Or I've used this as a ferro rod striker before. Look at this little guy, man. It's pretty freaking cool. I've used it as a pot hanger to hang, not pot, like a vessel pot over a fire. So you could tie a piece of wire or cordage into this hex key here, and then this acts like a hook so you can hang your pot or whatever over the fire with it. Bottle opener, obviously all these things have bottle opener capabilities. Got a pocket clip, which is this piece here, so some people hang their keys here and then they put this over their edge of their pocket, either inside or outside of their pocket, and it acts like a pocket clip. Flathead screwdriver, obviously a pry tool, a scoring tool. You can use this to score things with. Matter of fact, I think there's a video out there where Jason Salyer used one of these to actually like cut down a daggum tree or something, like a small tree, but like a sapling type tree. Like he literally scored the thing down. He's one of those kind of guys, like goes out with one little thing and sees what all he can do with it. You got a 1/4, a 5/16 and 11/32 wrench or hex wrench there. It's so freaking useful. Like I've done several things with this by keeping it on me and keeping it handy. I've actually got some of these tied to some of the lanyards of my bushcraft gear, like my pack from P&W Bushcraft that I put my my Uberleben pod in. I've got one of these tied to the cinch strap of that, so I always have it with me when I've got that Uberleben pot with me in case I need it for taking the lid, like the hot lid or whatever. I can take the lid off, I can hang it, do whatever with it, or strike ferro rods with it, yada yada yada. I've seen guys use these as a trap trigger, so making a trap, they can use this to make the trigger. A bow drill bearing, you can actually use this area right here as a bearing, so you can hold this in your hand, put that over top for your bow drill bearing. You can use this as a line tensioner, so you can run the line through here, and then when you want to tighten it, you can wrap it and then hook it on here as a line tensioner, or as a knot substitute, so you can tie off right here, do a loop in the line like you're going to do a trucker's hitch, pull it to, hook it on like that. Just all sorts of different uses. That is your third item in the basic box, the Griffin pocket tool from Casey and his family, the stainless steel mini. All right, so lastly in the basic box, we got a member recommended item from Clayton B from British Columbia, Canada. So he recommended a grappling hook. This one is from CountyCom, and it's pretty freaking cool, and the history behind this is pretty cool. So you got your grappling hook here that stows all inside of itself, so you can easily throw this in a pack, keep this in a glove box, keep this however you sort your kits or whatever. So you got this tube, if you will. So you screw the old cap off. And then you got your 3 spikes here. So screw this back on. And then you see here on the side, toward the bottom, you got 3 angular insert areas here, so you can screw in your spikes. And there's a little O-ring on them to kind of help lock it in place without locking it in place, if that makes sense. And there is your grappling hook. So you may be asking yourself, what would I need a grappling hook for? Clearly you can't climb with this, and you shouldn't climb with this. This isn't for you to go out and be Batman, freaking throw this thing up on the side of a building and climb up it, okay? But there's tons of uses for grappling hooks. The way this actual model came about was there was an EOD tech. He requested a small portable grappling hook that he could use to snag trip wires, that he could use to snag like command detonation wires and things like that to safely do his job. So think, for instance, a way you can throw this out onto the ground and drag it across, and it can snag those types of things to help him identify, disable, etc., etc., etc. when it comes to explosives. And this is what they came up with. I'm sure there was a couple different iterations, but this was the final decision right here, and that's what he used it for. As a survivalist and as a prepper or just a gadget guy, what could you use this for? The first thing that popped into my head was I would have killed to have this. The many times I've been deer hunting up in an elevated tree stand, a position where I dropped something out of my tree stand, a hat, gloves, face mask, a call, and I could have just dropped this down with a paracord and snagged it and pulled it back up, instead of having to get down, potentially ruin my hunt, and get the item that I dropped. So for retrieving items from elevated positions, this will be great to use as. I actually used one of these to help me tame the way a limb was going to fall that was breaking, and I had to cut it, threw it up there, snagged on really good, and was able to have a friend put tension on it while I cut it so that it could be pulled away from the tree versus falling where we didn't want it to fall. One thing I thought about with this, and I have not tested this, but I've seen similar items being used for this, would be, you know, you're fishing on a pier, like say at the beach or whatever, you're out on a pier and you catch a pretty large fish, and instead of having to walk that, if you're towards the end of the pier and having to work that fish all the way down to the beach, get down to the beach, pull the fish up on the beach side, you could lower this down or have a friend lower this down when you get the fish below you at the pier and help snag the fish and pull the fish up. And these spikes are pretty sharp. They're not like going to puncture you sharp normally, but if they had some velocity and some speed behind it, it probably could. But that's a really cool little kit right there. Don't climb with this. It's not built for climbing. It literally says it, not a safety device. Built really well. The machining is really nice on it. It's clean. So look inside there. So yeehaw, Clayton B, there's your grappling hook right there. So this is from County Com, called the pocket size grappling hook. They make a larger one, but it was freaking large. Like this right here is something that you can definitely put in your pack. Spikes are stainless. The body is 60-61 aluminum. That's really cool though. I dig that. And I like the thought process behind, a guy that really needed this in a combat situation, trying to clear the path of all those improvised explosive devices and stuff that was out there that took a lot of people's lives and maimed a lot of people for the rest of their lives. So pretty cool history behind this type of gadget right here. The advanced box item, I got to hide a couple things because it's at the bottom. Gotta get it out the bottom. So this is the bare bones carbon skillet, or skillet pan, whatever you want to call it. I call it my hobo skillet because it reminds me of like old cartoons or old shows or whatever where you had the hobo and he always had like a little skillet or a pan hanging from his pack if he had a pack. If not, he had a stick with a handkerchief hanging from the end of it. But so this is really cool. So this is a staff recommended item from Richard Toms, our CFO extraordinaire. Now, it is carbon steel, so you've got to take care of this thing, especially to the point of getting it where it's seasoned. So you got to kind of treat it like a cast iron type deal. But this is a great skillet from bare bones to like go outdoors with, actually go camping with, use it indoors if you want, outdoors, the whole nine, because the handle comes off. There are instructions in here as far as how to wash it, how to season it, daily maintenance or whatever of it, because it will rust on you. Food will stick to it if you don't do this properly, especially in the beginning, okay? So it's got a thin coat of oil on it already to hopefully, keep it from doing any rusting or whatever before you get it. Take these tags and everything off. But it's Bare Bones is the name of the company there. Very nice, very nice. So according to them, this is hand blued. It's not gonna stay blue. It will, as you season it and as you're using it, it will eventually turn black, which is a good thing because it means it's seasoned very well. And then you have the awesome non-stick stuff going on, right? And then you've got your handle insert there. So it's very packable because you can take the handle off, right? So you got your handle. It has a bolt that kind of goes in to here. You screw that dude on there. It's a walnut handle. Boom. So now you've got a way to hang it if you want to with the end right here. And there is your handle attached, your nice walnut handle right there. So you can cook them bacon and eggs and sautés and do whatever you want to do while you're out camping. Use it at home. Be a great skillet to have at home. I would recommend first using it at home to help get it seasoned and broken in and understood how to take care of it and all that before you go out in the wild with it. You want to be sure that when you wash it, you use a soft cloth. You don't want to use like an abrasive steel anything, or you don't want to use like steel wool or anything like that to clean it. And you want to be sure when you do clean it that you dry it thoroughly, meaning dry it with a towel and then put it back over the heat to get any moisture off of it whatsoever. Excellent freaking little hobo skillet's what I always think about when I see this thing. And very portable, because you can take the dadburn handle off, put this thing in your pack, and you ain't got this giant handle sticking around and bugging everything else in your pack right here. It's got nice freaking rivets in here that's holding this together. It is a very, very nice skillet. And when you get that good seasoning on there, you know, you're gonna be able to cook your eggs and all that stuff, and you ain't gotta worry about anything sticking. So be sure to use plenty of oil to start with to prevent things sticking to this right out of the gate, because that's when it's a pain in the butt to clean, is when things are stuck to it, right? Right there at front and center. Oh yeah, and just to come back to this, I meant to say it earlier, there are instructions on here on how to season this. So you can season it in the oven. You can season it just by using it. That's how the old school way of doing it is. So if you don't know how to season things, it does have directions here with it. So I'll put those right there. All right, so next up is the Pro Box. In the Pro Box that I'm this month, we've got a PD 101 full face respirator gas mask with OV and particulate filtration. Whew. That's a lot of words. So, from Parcel Safety, we got this dude right here. Get the glare off of him. Right there, the PD 101. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this up front, because we're gonna have the freaking respirator police coming into the video, coming into the clips that I'm gonna do of this to put on other social media and everything. That's not gonna seal well with a beard. You shouldn't have a beard and wear a gas mask or respirator. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm saying this up front, just like I did in the last video, that nobody apparently, these mask police or these respirator police don't listen to. I'll say it multiple times here. I do understand that me having a beard is not the ideal way to use one of these, because you need to have a proper seal around your face hole, okay? I get that. However, I have a beard. I'm doing an unboxing. I'm not shaving my beard for this unboxing to put this on my face to keep you freaking respirator police from getting in the comments. I understand respirators. I used to have to wear these on a regular basis with the job I used to do. I had to wear one of these daily for about 3 months doing an asbestos remediation job and removal job, and I had to shave to do it. So I get it. However, there are measures to help you get a proper seal if you do have whiskers on your face like I don't know if that works. I can't recommend that. However, I can recommend this mask right here, because I've had to wear these. That job, that remediation job where I had to wear one of these for months, every day, 6 days a week, 10-hour days, I had one of these rascals on my face outside of the times I was eating or taking a break or spitting my chewing tobacco out. This is an excellent mask right here, respirator, whatever you want to call it. And it works rather well and has a very comfortable headband that goes around it. So, show it to you right here. So here you've got your mask. You got a high quality voice box diaphragm right here for easy communication, so you don't sound entirely like Darth Vader when you're talking to people. Got an impact resistant face shield that is anti-fog, so it's suitable for hot and cold weather environments. And it takes bayonet style filter cartridges, which you get 2 of right here. And this is the 5-point adjustable harness. Comfortable and sealable fit. So here is your bayonet style cartridges. So the ones in here are PA3 bayonet filters, effective for filtration of organic vapors and particulates. All right, so, but as long as it's a bayonet style filter, you can buy multiple different types of filter cartridges for these. So, I mean, in a real SHTF situation, that could happen. You know, you get all the people that, it's never gonna happen. Have you seen what's going on in the freaking world and in this country over the last I'll just say a few months. Could go back further than that, but we'll just talk about the last few months. Things are getting weird out there, man. I don't leave anything off the table that could possibly happen. So you need things like this just in case, right? Slap that dude on like that. It just toggles in like that right there, and then you lock her in place. So that's what it looks like with the filter cartridges on it. I have a beard. I'm doing an unboxing. I'm not gonna shave my beard to put this on, okay? You need to have a clean shaven or mostly clean shaven face to get a proper seal using devices like this. I'm gonna put it on my head. That in no way signifies that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. What it signifies is I got a beard and I ain't shaving it for this dad-burn video for you, okay? I'm gonna put this on my face. You ready? It's amazing I have to freaking say that for the stooges on the internet. You can't wear that. You got a beard. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna put it on. I'll do what I want. And to be quite honest with you, I do sound like Darth Vader. It still ain't that bad even with my beard on. So I'm gonna say this again. I understand I have a beard. It's hanging right here, see it? I'm doing an unboxing video. This mask came in the box that I'm doing a video on. I'm putting it on my face to say I put it on my face. You dig? You should be clean shaven to get a proper seal. But that's what it looks like. So that is the PD 101, y'all. It's a great freaking mask. Like this is nicer than the one that I used. But yeah, I mean, you never know, right? Number one, these things are great for all sorts of things just at home while you're using it. If you're painting, if you're sanding stuff, if you're doing things, you need to protect your lungs, okay? There's couple things, you know, your eyes and your lungs are two things that, man, if you get them messed up, they messed up, man, and they cause a lot of issues for the rest of your life. If you can't see, or if your vision is messed up or impaired, or you can't breathe properly, it's not good. So being able to protect your face, protect your lungs, protect your eyes and all that is cool. Whether it seals well or not, if you're freaking doing something to help in those aspects, I'm not saying you need to shave your freaking beard if you're just going to be doing some painting or whatever and you want to, you know, protect yourself from vapors or whatnot, right? But what I am saying is, we don't know what the future holds. Having things like this could be a big deal if somebody comes kicking your door down and try to confiscate something that you rightfully can own, and using some gas or whatever to get you to run out. Obviously, you need to get different canisters, but there's tons of different types of filtration levels and uses. You just buy the one you need and you pop it on there. No big deal. Partial safety right here, the PD 101. I love these things. They're great. And I really love the people in the comments that say I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to masks. I'm the mask police. Now the Pro Plus this month is recommended by me. It doesn't say that on there, but I'm just going to say that. Simply because I designed this rascal. This knife right here is one that I've been working on for, is it 2 years? I think it's been right at 2 years I've been working on this thing. Couple different iterations, and I finally got it figured out how I wanted it to look like with the color and everything. And we have in our hands now the Ruck and River Savannah. Named it the Savannah. So what you get is incandescent thing. Don't eat that either. So you get this case right here that's got my logo on there, current 1776 right yonder. Zip that dude open and we get a nice little cleaning cloth with my logo on it. Get a sticker, the Savannah itself. So there will be a little bit of oil on here. And here we got it. My very own full build design, yada, 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 whatever you want to call it, folder. The Ruck and River Savannah. Check it out. So, the reason I went with these colors is here on my area of the Savannah River, it is kind of dark. The water's kind of dark colored. It's a tannic color. That's the reason behind the kind of black color, the black micarta, and the bronze hardware. All right, so here's the specs. The blade length is just over 3 inches. The overall length is 7 3/8 inches. It has Bowler K110 steel. It is a flat grind. It has black canvas micarta scales, bronze hardware. It is a button lock. You can see right there. You push the button and it will close. And it has an ambidextrous clip and a ball bearing pivot on it. And that joker is freaking smooth. I love it. So we got Ruck and River on this side, and then you have my signature on the other. So I don't know, man. It's borderline a Sunday go to meeting knife. Like I said, like, you know, this is something that you'd wear when you're dressed up nice and you're going out on the town with your lady friend, and you know, you got a tux on, or, you know, you want to look smooth and sleek. But at the same time, I wanted this thing to be an everyday use, man. I want you to patina this rascal. I want you to get to where this thing is worn and just looking rough, you know. So you got your flip here, obviously. You can flip it open that way. There is your button lock, so you push that and it will close. Or you got your thumb stud here on the side here, in which you can open it like that. So again, ambidextrous clips. You can take this clip, you can flip it over and put it on this side over here. Just got to remove that little spacer right there. I even went so far as putting a little spacer right there, so this is nice and level and flat right here versus it just being an indentation there. So took some time on this, man, and tried to hit all the little marks that I thought needed to be hit, because sometimes you'll get scales that have ambidextrous clip and there's an indentation there, which to most and to me has never really been a big deal, but it's like, I wonder what it'd be like if we put a spacer right there so it's still flat. So it worked out great. I think it turned out great. It's a freaking sexy knife. It's mega sharp, and I'm kind of proud of it. I really like the bronze with the black, and it really reminds me of the Savannah River. Thus the name Savannah. And it's really neat to see like concept, a couple different iterations to finished product. So pretty stoked about it. Hope you guys enjoy that and hope it becomes one of your EDCs. And I would really like to see it like a year or so after EDCing it every day, see how freaking awesome it works. So 2 years of work is finally in the hands and in your box. Yeehaw. All right, so that's mission 114 of Battlbox, folks. Quick recap. We're gonna do a quick recap, starting with the caps over here. We got the bottle blasters and the reactive bleed targets here from Triumph. Tons of fun, right? It's fun going out and shooting, obviously, but it adds to the fun when you have a reactive target, be that shooting steel, be that shooting tannerite, or be that shooting bottles, or shooting bleed stickers that are on, you know, your paper targets to make them more interesting and more visible from a distance or whatever, to be sure that you hit, you know, an area. So you got this rascal right here sitting at 1,000 yards. You hit that spot right there at 1,000 yards, that's really good. You'll be able to see the bleed from that far, through a scope anyway. But lots of fun, even with pellet rifles and stuff like that with the bottle blasters, and even these with your slingshot that you got last month. Oh, and there's a coupon in the box from Simple Shot for some more stuff if you need for your slingshots. Yeehaw, so check them out. So we got those from Triumph Systems right there. We've got the Griffin pocket tool, the mini right here. Excellent EDC item, okay? It's one of those things, man. It comes in clutch when you need it. It's out of the way and doesn't bother you when you don't need it. It's freaking great. Tons of freaking uses with that. Check out their website, check out their Instagram and things like that, and check out the people that use their stuff. There's a lot of people in the community that use Griffin pocket tools, and they come up with all sorts of different uses for them. It's actually pretty amazing. The grappling hook right here from CountyCom. Really cool story behind the design of this grappling hook, and it validates it in my way of thinking. Everybody thinks about Batman throwing something, you know, up into an elevated position so that you can climb it, okay? Yes, you can use grappling hooks for that, but not this one, because it's not rated for that kind of weight. Its design use was for an EOD tech, helping him throw this thing out there to snag, pull, find things that could kill them. And so there's tons of other uses you can use for it. Fishing, retrieving things that are below you, snagging things, pulling things to you that are across a creek or across a river or something like that, if you can throw it that far. We got the pan over there, the carbon steel pan, the skillet, the hobo skillet. I dig it. I think that thing is freaking awesome. So it's a 9-inch skillet so that you can cook them bacon and eggs or do whatever it is you want to when you're out in the wild and use that thing at home. Obviously recommend maintenance. Be sure that you maintain that thing. Be sure that you get it seasoned. There are directions in the packaging on how to do all that stuff. Keep it clean, keep it dry, keep it oiled, keep it seasoned, and it'll be one of your favorite cooking devices. Yeehaw. We got the Parcel Safety PD101 with the PA3 filter cartridges that go on the side, the bayonet style. Beard or no beard, I can attest it's a good respirator. It's a good filter system. It's good eye protection. It fits well. It's comfortable. You never know when you might need one of these things, even down to painting something or using spray paint at home, okay? But again, you can get all sorts of different types of filters to go on this. So look, see what kind of filters are available out there, read what they do, and get you a good little selection of those to keep on hand, and have multiples of them in case something happens and you need to protect your lungs and your eyes, etc., etc. And then last, not least, we've got the Curran 1776 designed and inspired folder called the Savannah from Ruck and River. So this is my very first folder design, and it took a couple years to do it. So I learned a lot, figured out some things not to do, and figured out some things to do. So we've got a really nice Bowler K110 steel, canvas micarta, bronze hardware, button lock, ambidextrous clip, got all the things that I like to have in a knife. Tried to make it look cool and be a very nice functional everyday carry knife and or Sunday go to meeting knife, dress up knife. That's a redneck way of saying that. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you'd like to find out more about Battlbox, you can go to battlbox.com, battlbox.com. Go to the What's in the Box page, tab at the top, and you can see every single video from Mission 1 until today. See, you know, the evolution of Battlbox over the years, what we've done, what we're doing, all that good stuff. Don't forget about the Battle Vault. If you are a subscriber and you do not have access to the Battle Vault, you need to check your emails. You need to check the card right here. Talks about the Battle Vault on the next to last page right there. So you can get even more exclusive deals on gear and stuff to prep and have adventures and all that fun stuff. Now also this month, you may or may not receive a golden ticket in this box. If you received a golden ticket, there'll be a code on the back. You need to follow the directions. And perhaps I'll see you at Battle Games this year. It's gonna be awesome. You could win 25 grand and get a whole bunch of cool gear and meet a whole lot of cool people and hang out and have a great time and lots of good food and drink. Yeehaw. Love you, mean it. See you next month with Mission 115.